will see you all after the event. Hopefully Alana will be here with me, and we can get to it. I can see the hype in chat. People are ready. Where's Johnny? Here's Johnny. Maybe. Fingers crossed. I don't know. We'll find out. I have no idea what's about to happen. This is going to be amazing. We're 10 seconds away. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys afterwards. Welcome to Night City.
You don't believe in no fate. Every day digging the grave. Stepping up to what it takes. City of dreams, city of...
Alright, let me make sure I'm stable again.
Hello and welcome to this, the very first episode of Night City Wire.
I really need this to be stable if I'm going to do this reaction.
Project Red, where we'll be talking about all things Cyberpunk 2077. For today's episode, we'll be starting with a brand new trailer. One of our developers will be joining us to help unpack everything you're going to see. We'll have some news, an announcement about a secret collaboration. We'll be taking a look at some braindance gameplay and welcoming back our developers just to have a chat about everything you're going to see. But there is one more thing. Media
okay, so I know I'm kind of skipping a little bit,
Cyberpunk 2077, and when this
but their video is also skipping as well.
Check out exactly what they thought. Let's get started. It is time to take a look at our brand new trailer, and after that,
like, there's a lot of buffering going on with them.
Will be joining us because I've got a feeling you're gonna have a few questions after watching this. So let's take a look.
All right, basically any and everything that you can possibly imagine in the game is in the game.
Ready to get your cherry popped? Yeah, come on.
City like any other, just bigger.
Nah, mano, not just any other city. Legends are born here.
The major leagues. We're only here because Dex is pulling the strings. Doubt that puts us in the same league as them.
But we are. They just don't know it yet.
I'm moving fine.
And you know how to use them? You can do
But their
damn near
stream,
anything.
Unless
it
you
is
catch
not
both.
optimized.
Even then, you go out with a bang, right?
You know, you can make heaps more eddies as a motivational speaker.
Yo, Mr. V, a pleasure.
So what's the gig, Dex? You meant to come out in one piece? How about we go over the plan?
There's this prototype tech.
But yo, people, what's going on? This is only going to be 25 minutes so that we don't have to spend too much time with it.
Some heavy hitters.
Thought you could blackmail me, fucker?
High risk, high reward. First rule of the afterlife.
Ka-ching, baby.
I'm just keeping an eye on chat down here so that way... Actually, you know what? Hold on.
Ideally, no bodies. Not a one.
Sounds simple enough.
He's lit, assholes!
Is it gonna be dangerous?
Don't you worry, mi amor. We're bulletproof. Get your ass moving now!
What the fuck just happened in there?
Can't stop digging Night City.
Fucking major leagues. Happy now, Jackie?
Yep, that's fucking high! Time to bail!
Oh my god, we're so fucked.
Dex, what the fuck?
Can't risk it, V.
And you, who are you?
All I know is this game is going to be a wild ride.
So the trailer contains footage from the game's prologue only, but there was an awful lot in it. So Pavel, why don't you try and help us unpack everything that we just saw?
Oh yeah, I mean, absolutely, I can try. So, would you
So,
have just seen
if you
the
guys see me
only
doing this and the
prologue
video
game?
is still
That
skipping in the
awesome stuff is only
background,
happening in the first few quests.
then it's because
What
the
trailer
stream,
shows you
their
is
stream,
really
it's
our
not
stage,
optimized because
the Night
it is
You know,
really
this
skipping a
gigantic
lot.
city built of 6 completely unique districts, surrounded by the 7th one that we call the Badlands. As a player, you are meeting Jackie. Jackie's your friend. Now, they together are trying to reach out for some precious. They were trying to reach out for the chip of immortality, this gateway to eternal life. Jackie introduces you to Fixer Dexter Deshawn. He's a very social ladder of Cyberpunk. He is able to provide the player with various jobs and contracts to be able to gather money, to be able to modify their bodies, push themselves to the limits, to put their hands on the chip. But as we can expect,
like this, you can't really enjoy like the gameplay snippets of it because the stream
there are an awful lot of really cool things
is
in this trailer,
moving at a
few
snail's
I would
pace.
love to talk about a little bit more.
Not
for
my
people at
stream,
home.
but
so let's start with talking about a gang called the Mox. Now we see a few flashes of them in this trailer. I personally think they're really cool and one of my favorites. But can you give us a little bit more information about them?
Oh yes. So the Mox is one of the gangs that players.
So I wouldn't be surprised if people are wondering why it's buffering so much during this entire Twitch stream right now. Because not every single part of this is running smoothly. Not saying that the game itself is not running smoothly, but the stream they're showcasing is not giving us the best look because it keeps skipping. Now, Jesse Cox did say that they're having trouble on the western side, so they're going through internet problems as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if that is what's causing all of this turmoil right now as far as people trying to tune in.
A place called the Badlands. Now, we saw a few shots of this in the trailer, but I'd love for you to give us a bit more detail about the district outside of the city walls.
Okay, so the Badlands is this like dead, dried out space going around the whole Night City. And as a player, you'll be able to traverse that space in your car or motorcycle. This is a space that is inhabited by the nomads. Nomads are living in a different family.
So it's cool that you get to drive out everywhere.
Across that space in convoys made out of the cars and motorcycles. And as a player, you'll be able to traverse and access different type of open world content that has been prepared specifically.
Was that a muscle car? Was that a muscle car?
Awesome feel of the Badlands as an area.
Was that the Cyberpunk version of a Mustang?
Saw, like a completely metal creature.
Yo, I need some of them.
Maelstrom gang. This looked like something else. So please tell the people at home, who is this giant metal monster?
Okay, so that big dude, that was Adam Smasher. He has been introduced in pen and paper in Cyberpunk 2020 by our senpai Mike Pondsmith. Adam Smasher is a fully converted cyborg. He was always a loyalist of Arasaka. And time has changed, and in 2077 he had to find his own.
So he's basically the cyberpunk version of, what is his name? Krishna from whatever that super cyberized guy's name is from Alita Battle Angel. He's basically that.
Previous gameplays, they might remember him. But I'd really like for you to give the people at home some more information about what Ripper Docs are and how they'll be interacting with them when they play Cyberpunk.
So Reaper Dogs in our game, they are surgeons. They are like a specific type of a job in the social ladder of Cyberpunk. They are accustomed and specialized in replacing limbs to the metal ones. They can basically update your body, enhance your body, change you into this walking war machine. And as a player, you are going to meet different kind of Reaper Dogs in the game, craft your own relationship with them. Some of them are like important characters for a story.
Your body was sitting off to the side. Did he take your head off?
You're gathering to turn your body into this tool that allows you to survive on the streets of Night City.
Pavel, thank you so much.
I think he took your head off.
I know you'll be back later in the episode because you're going to be helping us to analyze the Braindance gameplay. But before that, we do have some news to share. Earlier in the year, we announced that if you pick up Cyberpunk 2077 on Xbox One, you'll be able to play it on Xbox Series X when the console launches. And just in case you missed it, it will be the same for PlayStation players as well. If you pick up Cyberpunk 2077 on PlayStation 4, you'll also be able to play it on PlayStation 5 when the console launches. And that's not all. There will be a free upgrade for Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5, but we'll have more details on that soon.
Night City.
Before we reveal our first look at the Braindance gameplay and welcome back our developers.
Hey Jaden, what's going on?
There is just one more thing we want to announce.
I don't advise you watching this stream because the content in this game may be a bit mature for you, and I do not want to get in trouble with your mom.
To bring you Cyberpunk Edgerunners, a standalone anime set in the Cyberpunk universe.
So you may have to sit this one out, man.
For some time now. Edgerunners is due to launch in 2022, but for some more information, let's go to the team in Tokyo.
My name is Saya Elder. I am the Japan-based producer for Cyberpunk Edgerunners. What I do basically on this project is that I am a fixer, to put it in the words of the Cyberpunk universe. We are a game company. We are a bunch of nerds, and wherever there are nerds, there's going to be anime fans. So it was always a dream for us to make anime. When we began this project, we were certain that we didn't want to make a recreation of the game. Cyberpunk Edgerunners is a standalone story set in the same universe. The stage is still Night City, but everything else is totally new. New characters, new story. I do like to think that it's going to be a great gateway for newcomers to come and check Cyberpunk game and also the Cyberpunk genre as a whole. Right now we're in Nakano, which is one of the biggest anime meccas of the world. I'm going to take you to Studio Trigger right now because we have the wonderful opportunity to talk to the dream
Alright,
team
so I still need to
that will be
tweak my
bringing you
settings
this
for
anime.
streaming because I can't show it in full screen because then it'll just knock everything out of whack. But I hope you heard what I said, Jaden. Please do not sit in on this because I don't want you to get in trouble with your mom, and I don't want to get in trouble with your mom.
触れる方両方に満足していただけるようにアニメを作るつもりです。よろしくお願いします。
今回はそのサイバーパンクという僕らが10代の、一ファンにしか過ぎなかった頃に生まれたジャンル、そういうジャンルのものをまた、時代が何周もして作れるというのが非常に楽しみです。トリガーも10年ということで
Why am I sitting here with both headphones off? Sorry, everybody.
トリガーの最強の布陣で、トリガー10周年にふさわしい作品にしていきたいと思います。お楽しみに。
New show coming, anime series coming to Netflix.
Now it is time to
Hey
show you some
D-Train, what's
gameplay
going
of
on?
Brain Dance.
Apologies if
This
there's
is
still
a feature
hiccups
that
during
you'll
this stream. I'm
experience
still
when you
trying
play
to
Cyberpunk 2077. Brain Dance
fix
is
some
essentially
settings here and there,
recording
but I
someone
kind of don't
else's
want to mess with it right now
It
because I
allows
don't
you
want
to
to
relive their sense
disrupt the
of
stream
sight, smell,
any more than I
touch,
have.
and even hearing,
So
all thanks
sorry
to
if
a
it's
special
a
device.
lot of slip-ups
After
here and
the
there.
gameplay, I will
But
welcome
at least
back
this is
Cal
starting off
Sasso.
on a much better
I'll also
foot
be
than
joined by Patrick
my
Mills, our senior quest
Avengers
designer and
stream that I tried to do
all-round
yesterday.
master, who will be helping to answer your questions and give you some explanation on how you'll be interacting with Brain Dance when you play Cyberpunk 2077.
I just want to know, can we have optimal camouflage so I can just turn invisible like Ghost in the Shell?
Get out, and we sell the BD to those psycho freaks from the studio.
Got it.
And remember, everything on full blast. They'll spot us extra for a wicked adrenaline high. Okay, on you go.
Alright, this is brand new gameplay. We can't go back to saying that 2019 is the only one we got now.
What I see you kissing the flooring. Money, now, or I will fucking drop you, I swear to God. Well, yeah, hey, now, before I blow your fucking head off.
Whoa!
Slow, deep breaths. Your cortisol and adrenaline spiked, but the soft activated your hormone blockers. Nothing happened. You're alive and well.
That was too much. I could feel the guy's pain, his stress, his hope.
But yeah, this stream from Twitch and what's linked to it, it's not like 100% stable.
You'll be fine. Got everything set up? Let's switch over to editing mode.
Editing mode?
I'll sever the link to the BD Roller's sensory array. You'll be able to look around freely. Whole scene's yours.
Oh snap! Crime scene investigation!
So move around, zoom in and out, whatever else you come up with. Think of it as your own little sandbox. So
Jaden, what's going on? You should not be here watching this, man.
when you feel the need. Then you use the editor console to unpause.
This is still too young for you. I thought this was supposed to have been came out. Okay, so it was supposed to come out in April. They pushed it to September. Now it's been pushed back to November. So we gotta wait even longer for it now. But they're saying they're taking this time to polish it to perfection.
Rewind. Roll it back to the top. All good. Neat. Now try fast forwarding a bit.
Plan simple. Do nothing on it. Don't be creative. You go in, stash cash, get out.
Okay. You can also reset the recording. That'll take you right back to the beginning. Try it.
So literally crime scene investigation.
Now for some fun. This here's why you came in the first place. In analysis mode, you get to view and even scan details of the enviro recorded by the BD roller. Focus on the heat, the gun this gonk gets from his buddy at the beginning. Now scan it.
Plan simple. Do nothing odd. Don't get creative. You go in, snatch the cash, get out. And remember,
okay, right here. Excellent.
Doing full on digi scans and everything.
In analysis mode, you can ferret out background noise and conversations if the roller got close enough. This tech records everything, every little detail, even the sights and sounds the roller was never aware of. To see the sources of the recorded sensory signals, switch to the audio layer in the editor. Go ahead and try that now. Okay, good. Now you should see several sound signatures in the store. Choose one and hone in on it.
Alright, so one is the AC unit. Whew.
Pack of 6, case of Brosif, and a couple of zappers.
Okay. We have a deal today on 2 flavors. Cuddy and surfing. Everybody!
So, any thoughts?
Unbelievable. Seriously, like what's happening right next to me.
Yeah, it's how BD recording implants work. They pick up everything, all the elements in the background. Then an editor tweaks them, makes them pop. Keep playing with the sound, explore it a bit. We'll move on when you get bored.
Okay, this is actually pretty cool. So, implants in the world make it so that even if you're not there, if you can scan a moment, then you can see what all is going on around within the range of those implants. I wouldn't be surprised if that's how the police in this game actually make crime scenes and figure out how things happen.
Hella nice.
Scanning works on peeps too. Walk up to the wounded chick. Try scanning her. Alright, next thing. Scroll forward to the part where our artist gets a lead injection.
Or I will fucking drop you, I swear to God! Well, now, fucking head off!
See that? They shot him and he never saw it coming.
Okay, who's over there?
Here it comes. My favorite part of the game. See the blinking thing over the entrance? Surveillance cam. Must have caught our shooter. You'll see in a sec. Cam feeds to the screen behind the clerk.
I'm trying to look around to see what's going on. If it turns out this person can turn invisible, like optical camouflage from Ghost in the Shell, oh, I'm gonna love it.
His own Chumba shot him. Probably planned to all along. Must have got a nice slice of cred on the black market for a BD like this. BD freaks are ready to pay a preem for a real flatline. Anyway,
oh,
if you've seen enough, you can exit.
So the same person who sent him in was the one who shot him.
Yeah, it's impressive, right? It's too bad most of the BDs we do here are only good for flogging the log.
So Braindance is a pretty big part of the Cyberpunk universe. It's not just something used for adult films. There is an awful lot to it. And there's 2 sides I'd really like you guys to help me explore. First is the lore, so how this actually fits into the universe, and then there's the gameplay side, so how players will be interacting with it. So Patrick, could you tell us more about the lore of Braindance?
I would love to. So in the world of Cyberpunk 2077, Braindance was invented way back in the early 2000s at UC Santa Cruz. It was developed as a way of recording a person's experiences and then playing them back for someone else, so that they could relive them as though it was happening to them.
I feel like we're going to be able to take full advantage of that sort of setting.
But by
that whole
it's become this
mechanic.
global media industry, including things like movies, mass entertainment, things like that, video games, some interactive things, and of course adult fare as well. Now, in our game, we deal a lot with black brain dances, or XBDs as we call them, and there are different types of those, but the one that you saw in the trailer just there was a flatliner. Now that's where the person recording it actually dies during the recording. And it's popular with sort of an illicit kind of a thrill, but a mercenary can also use them for various things, and you'll see that in the game, of course.
And from the gameplay perspective, we have been working a lot throughout last years trying to figure out the best way how to use the braindance in the game as a mechanics. So what we have settled on is this braindance editor mode. As a player, you will be able to run the braindance in the editor mode and see different clues that have been registered on the peripheral of given actor. Now, as a player, you can slide on the timeline of the recording back and forth, trying to uncover different clues. And that clues are actually telling a story in the game. So as a player, you will run different investigations that will lead you to different mysteries, and you will uncover them actually using that braindance as a mechanics in the game.
So as Pavel was saying, we use braindance as a storytelling tool. It's not a collectible. It's not something where you're going to go in and you're going to play it and you're going to be like, I've seen this before. What we use braindance for is to give you a keyhole into the life of the residents of Night City. And we can explore things like childhood trauma, religion, various philosophical ideas in a way that you might not otherwise experience in a story about a mercenary on the tough streets.
So we've tried to talk about some of the aspects that we think the community will find really exciting, but, you know, while you're both here, I'd love to know, what is it about Cyberpunk that you guys are really excited for?
Please say you got optical camouflage. Let me be a part of Section 9.
One of the things that I'm most excited about in this game is the characters and the way they interact with the world. We've got this really interesting world that stretches all the way back to the Cyberpunk 2020 source material and all of these events and all of those things, but those don't mean anything unless they connect with characters. And so when we come up with a character, we start with their function. What is this person? What do they do in the story? But we don't stop there. We go back and we figure out, what was their childhood like? What was their upbringing like? What kind of obstacles did they face in this harsh reality, and did they overcome them? And how did they overcome them, or did they not overcome them, and why? And you can see all of those things in their environment, in their dialogues, in sort of how they operate in the world. And we come up with that for all of our characters. Now, you look at someone like Victor Vector, and you're going to see stories about his past in his environment and in his dialogue. You know, we come up with that stuff even if we don't use it in the game, because it helps inform us as to who these characters are.
And for me, I would not be myself if I would not say...
I'm enjoying this. I'm watching this. I'm enjoying it.
Our quests. Like with our Witcher 3 team, with Patrick and
like
everybody that has stayed with us.
What is that?
Witcher 3 time, we really have grown so much. We have learned so much, and we have used all that experience to put them into the quest that we have made. And you will not find really a filler in this game. Like, everything has a meaning. Like, we put so much effort into making sure that everything is rewarding, is interesting, is talking about characters, as Patrick said, is talking about worlds, is talking about emotions, like touching the player in a really, like a real way. And I just can't wait to find out what you think.
Pavel, I know you mentioned story and quests and writing quests, and when I was last in the studio, I had a look and I saw a notebook on your desk, and I would love for you to show everybody this notebook.
Okay, Holly, I mean, you asked for it. So this is my notebook. It says Salsa Quest Designer. The reason is because I dance salsa, and I'm a quest designer, so you know. So I started this notebook actually when we were really starting Cyberpunk. At the very beginning, I wrote like a first note, and it says pretty much something along the lines of that we were starting with a prototype. And then, you know, I kept on basically noting things that we've been working on for like next years. I remember once when our concept artist actually approached
That
me,
is a
and they said that
lot.
they
Like,
wanted to take a look
how
at my
much
notebook. I was like,
information could you see on those
actually, and
pages?
they
Like, the last time I saw pages that filled, it was, I was watching My Hero Academia and Midoriya was just writing.
Reference material for notes of a psychopathic killer.
He goes into detail just like Midoriya does.
You may find maybe some of my notes in the game.
If we find one of your notes in the game and it's
I'm
that
pretty lucky
detailed,
because I have read some of the stories that you and the team have written for Braindance.
I can see
and
myself
I'm pretty
reading a
excited
lot
for
of
people
his
to
notes
discover
for a
them.
very long
But,
time.
before
Hey
we do
CJ,
finish
what's going
today's
on?
Episode, there is just one more thing we'd like to talk about. Earlier in this episode, I mentioned that media have been getting hands-on with the opening of Cyberpunk 2077, and they should be posting their impressions right about now. And if you missed anything from today's episode, don't worry, we'll be uploading everything to our channels very soon. And finally, on behalf of everybody at CD Projekt Red,
And like I said,
thank you
it's
so
short,
much for joining us for
only
this
25
very
minutes,
first episode
and
of
it's
Night
already
City
over,
Wire.
but still.
Don't worry, we'll be back with episode 2 in just a few weeks. So, we shall see you soon.
Okay.
Twitch polls, Twitch chat, if you're over there, I see you right now.
Alright, there's Jesse right there. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about this. And let's get my window capture back up again. Transform. Reset. Okay, there we go. So, that was just a little bit of Cyberpunk's Night City Wire, where we are going to be getting video previews. I know I'm wearing the same shirt. I got to take a shower. But we're seeing previews of Cyberpunk already, and it looks good. Like, compared to 2019... Can I do that type of British accent? I would probably have to work on it a little bit. It's probably not the best, but if I put a little effort into it, I believe that I could come close. But not too close, because I don't want to confuse people. You know how people can get, they'll be wondering, where's your accent? Where did that come from? So I'll work on it. But overall, the game looks good. We need to see more. I'm more hopeful for this than I was for Avengers, if that goes without saying. Because nothing against Avengers gameplay from yesterday, but it just... it didn't really resonate with me all that well. Just to like what little preview we got, it just didn't really sync up like I was really hoping it would. But Cyberpunk has. It literally screams to me everything I love about open world RPG-like games with massive storytelling. And the fact that it's being made by CG Projekt Red just tells me that I can already tell it's probably going to be a Game of the Year contender, because CG Projekt Red has that reputation for, going above and... Actually, hold on, let me mute this real quick. Just in case a notification popped up. CG Projekt Red has that reputation of being one of the best video game companies that puts players first, where they want their game to be good and want people to play it multiple times and play it for years to come. And they've been known to, if a game somehow launches with problems, then they fix it to the point where you no longer have to worry about problems. I'm glad that we have companies like CG Projekt Red. I thought I was going to burp there for a second. I'm glad we have companies like CG Projekt Red that goes through the effort of making sure that we have the best experience possible, rather than trying to nickel and dime their players, or, put in game mechanics that forces us to either concede with, time saver microtransactions, or, just lock gameplay mechanics behind microtransactions. I'm glad they're one of the few companies that are still out there that actually goes through the effort of wanting to keep their player base. I mean, you got EA being EA, you got Activision and Ubisoft, you know, introducing mechanics into their games that make the game, that baseline makes the game grindy, so you have the option, because, you know, not everyone has the time to, you know, play through a game, apparently. So let's just introduce time savers and ways that they can, you know, cut out the grind a little bit and just, you know, pay a couple of dollars here. You can get an XP booster, or you can get a money booster if you spend this little bit of money. And the fact that they make their games so grindy to the point where they introduce this sort of things, it's underhanded, it is shady, it is shameful that they think we're dumb enough to fall for this. But then you have CD Projekt Red, who says, yeah, we're not going to do any of that. As a matter of fact, we're going to make our standard version of our game so jam-packed with stuff that you would think that it's a deluxe edition. You think that it was a special edition. And we're doing that just regular for standard. Sure, you can get the deluxe edition, but we're not going to lock anything in-game wise that could hamper or hinder or improve progression in the game, because that's not how we roll. So I'm glad we got companies out there like CD Projekt Red that are showing us how it's done, how to be professional, and how to be respectful of the people they're investing their time into. They're not investing in their investors, they're investing their time into us. Because at the end of the day, it's not the investors that's buying these games, it's us. So I'm glad that they actually take the time to, you know, prioritize what they want us to enjoy versus what they want us to pay for. That's just my opinion on it. But this was just a short snippet, so I'm probably not going to keep this any longer than I have. The little gameplay with rewinding back events that are going on, I don't know how much more you're going to be able to explore that, but I feel like that's a very cool thing, like crime scene investigation. It just reminds me of like Batman Arkham series, where you would go to a crime scene and you would have to scan different things, and then you would have to like find like a bullet that hit the ground, find the fragments, and then try and guess the trajectory or triangulate the trajectory and find out where that bullet came from. And like, it's so intricate, like how they did it with Batman, and I like the fact that you get to see that same thing with Cyberpunk, yet it goes, I want to say, beyond what Batman did, because Batman, it's Batman, but he has, it's not like it's Batman beyond levels of technological advancements, where with Cyberpunk, you're literally able to hear like different sources of sound, explore like, okay, so there's an air conditioning unit there's a sound waves coming out of this area, you get to find out what's going on with people, you get to scan them, find out what's, like, literally there's so much more you can do to analyze an entire area. And not only that, but you don't even have to be the person that is there. You can just scan another person's mind and then just see what they saw, and then just explore the area around you, all the ambient sounds, ambient reflections, and all sorts of different things, be able to see things the original person didn't see before they died, and it just opens up the whole new realm of possibilities and storytelling and lore and being immersive into the game. So this first episode with Nightwire, it's got me more hyped for the game than Marvel did with their entire, 47 minutes, hour of showing me off Avengers. I'm sorry. It's just that as much as I like Marvel games, it's just that their gameplay is not grabbing me like it should. But Cyberpunk, just from this 25 minutes, including the amount of time that the presenters were speaking and talking to us with everything, I'm more hyped for that. And we're getting that later this year. Avengers is popping up in September ahead of Cyberpunk, yet I'm looking forward to Cyberpunk later, past the point where Avengers comes out. Avengers has to really, really, really bring their A game with the next set of gameplay and whatever they got going on for me to say, okay, I'm definitely adding that to my list. Because as of right now, it looks like Destiny with Marvel characters. I'm sorry, but that's just how it looks to me. I'm not hyped for it. I'm not. I want to be, but they're not giving me a reason to. Whereas Cyberpunk just literally says, this is just one very minute, small detail of what's to come in our game. But you're going to have to wait till November because we are going to polish it out the woodworks to make sure that everything works perfectly. Did I hear about Michael Keaton playing as Bruce Wayne in the upcoming Flash film? I did hear about that. I believe Michael Keaton still got it. Now, the question is he going to be like a grizzled Batman? Or is he going to be like a younger Batman? Because Michael Keaton is like, what, in his, 50s? 60s, maybe? He might be getting close to his 50s? 60s? But I feel like having Michael Keaton back will be very nice. Because the last Batmans we got were the Joel Schumacher, who kind of, passed away earlier this week. But Michael Keaton stands out as one of the best Batmans out there. So it would be interesting to see him in the Flash movie. And I hope that if they're doing the Flash movie, please pay attention to the source material so that we don't have another Justice League type movie again. But that's just me. I don't want to carry this on too long because I need to go ahead and try and update Borderlands to see if I can go ahead and get the newest DLC squared up so that way I can get that live stream going so we can go ahead and play through Bounty of Blood. But overall, my whole take on this whole Nightwire, sure, it was short, but it was short and very, very sweet, and I'm anxious for more. So, with that being said, I'm going to end it here for today. I think it's a Flashpoint Paradox type situation. So what, he's going to play Thomas Wayne? Because it would fit. But if he's just playing regular Batman, then that's fine too. But I'm going to end it here for today, folks. Until I can go ahead and get this Borderlands DLC squared up. So with that being said, I enjoyed this Nightwire episode for Cyberpunk, and there's going to be more. I need to fix whatever stream settings I have for this so that it doesn't, overly skip for you guys while I'm streaming. I had it going just fine earlier, but I need to figure out what default settings I had it at beforehand so I can get it back to normal. But with that being said, hope y'all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next videos. Have a fantastic day. And once again, as always, later, peoples.